The Ghost Battalion. Opening sequence. The screen fades in from black to reveal the Pacific Ocean at dawn, vast, indifferent, eternal. Waves crash against jagged cliffs where palm trees bend like broken fingers in the wind. The year is 1945. The place is Okinawa. The final doorway to Japan. Narrator. In the spring of 1945, the world was bleeding from a wound that had been open for 6 years. Millions had died. Empires had fallen. And on a small island called Okinawa, 2 nations prepared for what would become one of the bloodiest battles in human history. The camera glides over bodies of water, burned villages, abandoned tanks half submerged in mud, and then a single soldier's helmet, cracked and rusting on a rock. Narrator. This is not a story about glory. This is a story about men who were asked to do the impossible, and somehow found a way. Thunder rumbles in the distance. Clouds hang low like an omen. Act 1, The Company. Scene 1, Camp Nightfall. The American base camp sits on a hillside overlooking the ocean. Tents flutter in the humid breeze. Soldiers sit in small groups, some cleaning rifles, some writing letters, some just staring at nothing. The weight of exhaustion hangs over them like a second atmosphere. At the center of camp stands Captain Adrian Keller, 34 years old, face carved from stone and shadow. His eyes carry the kind of weariness that comes from burying too many friends. He stands alone near a burning oil drum, staring at a photograph, a woman and a young boy, smiling in a world that feels impossibly far away. Corporal Hayes approaches. He's older than most, 38, wiry, with a scar cutting through his left eyebrow. Hayes, Captain. Orders just came in. Keller doesn't look up. Keller, let me guess. Another ridge. Another tunnel. Another suicide mission disguised as strategy. Hayes nods slowly. Hayes, Devil's Ridge. High Command says it's the last Japanese strongpoint on the island. If we take it, this whole bloody chapter might finally end. Keller finally looks up. Keller, how many men did the 77th lose trying? Hayes, 43 in 2 days. Marines lost more before that. A long pause. Keller, and they think Fox Company can do what an entire division couldn't? Hayes, they think the Ghost Battalion can. Keller winces at the nickname. Keller, we're not ghosts, Hayes. We're just men who've been lucky enough to keep bleeding without dying. Hayes, well, the Japanese don't see it that way. They think we can't be killed. And fear is a weapon too, sir. Keller pockets the photograph. Keller, gather the men. We move at dawn. Scene 2, The Men of Fox Company. The camera moves through camp, introducing the soldiers one by one. Private Daniel Reese Thompson, 19 years old, farm boy from Iowa. He sits on a crate, writing a letter home by candlelight. His hands shake slightly. The letter reads, Dear Ma, I'm okay. The food's bad and it rains every day, but I'm okay. Tell Lizzie I miss her cherry pie. Tell Dad I'm trying to be brave like he said. I'll be home soon. I promise. He folds the letter carefully and tucks it into his helmet. Sergeant Marcus Stone Wallace, 29, a massive man from Detroit with fists like hammered iron. He's sharpening his bayonet with slow, deliberate strokes. He hums an old blues song under his breath. A younger soldier approaches nervously. Young soldier, Sarge, you scared? Stone doesn't look up. Stone, every single time. Fear keeps you sharp. Stupid gets you dead. Private First Class Jimmy Matchstick Ahara, 22, from Boston, always has a cigarette dangling from his lips even when it's not lit. He's the company's demo expert, handles grenades and explosives like other men handle playing cards. He sits with Private Leon Vasquez, a medic from Texas who's seen too much blood and not enough miracles. Matchstick, you ever think about what we're gonna do when this is over? Vasquez, I'm gonna sit on my porch and do absolutely nothing for a year. They both laugh, but it's the kind of laugh that's trying to push back the dark. The camera returns to Captain Keller as he walks through camp. Men straighten when he passes. Not out of fear, but respect. He stops at a young private shivering under a blanket, barely 18, eyes wide with terror. Keller, what's your name, soldier? Young private, C. Cooper, sir. William Cooper. Keller, you scared, Cooper? The boy nods, ashamed. Keller, good. That means you're smart. Just remember, fear is a passenger, not the driver. You stay focused, you stay with your brothers, and you come home. Understood? Cooper, yes, sir. Keller places a hand on his shoulder. Keller, we all come home. That's the only order that matters. Act 2, The Approach. Scene 3, Dawn at Devil's Ridge. The sun rises weak and pale through heavy clouds. Fox Company moves in a column through the jungle, silent, disciplined, deadly. The jungle is thick and suffocating. Vines hang like nooses. Insects buzz in swarms. The air tastes like copper and rot. Reese carries the radio on his back, straps digging into his shoulders. He tries to keep pace with Hayes ahead of him. Reese, Corporal, why do they call this place Devil's Ridge? Hayes glances back. Hayes, because hell lives here, kid. And it doesn't like visitors. They continue climbing. The terrain grows steeper. Mud sucks at their boots. Every step feels like walking through quicksand. Then, stone, movement. 2 o'clock. Everyone freezes. The jungle goes silent. Too silent. Keller raises his fist, the signal to hold. For 10 long seconds, nothing moves. Then, boom. A mortar shell explodes 20 feet to their left, throwing mud and branches into the air. Keller, scatter. Cover now. The men dive behind trees and rocks as the jungle erupts in gunfire. Bullets tear through leaves like invisible claws. Rat-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti. Machine gun fire rips from hidden positions in the caves above. Keller, suppressing fire. Matchstick, smoke grenades, now. Matchstick pulls 2 grenades, yanks the pins, and hurls them uphill. Whoosh. Thick white smoke billows across the slope. Under its cover, Fox Company advances, moving fast, staying low, returning fire. Stone, there. Cave entrance. 50 yards. Keller, Stone, take 3 men and flank left. Hayes, right side. Reese, stay on me and call for mortar support if we need it. Reese, yes sir. The firefight intensifies. Bullets ricochet off rocks. Grenades explode in bursts of orange flame. A Japanese soldier appears at the cave mouth with a rifle. Stone fires twice. Crack. Crack. The soldier falls. But 2 more take his place. Scene 4 radio call. Reese crouches behind a fallen log, fumbling with the radio as bullets snap overhead. His hands shake so badly he drops the receiver twice. Hayes, Reese, get that radio working or we're all dead. Reese, I'm trying. He finally gets the frequency. Reese, Falcon 6, this is Ghost 2-1, requesting fire mission, over. Static. Then a calm voice. Radio voice, Ghost 2-1, send coordinates. Reese pulls out a worn map, hands trembling as he reads the numbers. Reese, grid November 734, elevation 250, enemy machine gun nest, requesting he rounds, over. Radio voice, copy that, Ghost 2-1. Rounds out in 30 seconds. Mark your position with smoke. Reese, smoke going out. He pulls a smoke grenade and throws it. Purple smoke spirals into the sky. Keller, everyone down. Incoming. Seconds later. Whoosh. Artillery shells scream through the air and slam into the ridge above them. Boom. 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 The earth shakes. Trees explode into splinters. The cave mouth collapses in a cloud of dust and flame. When the smoke clears, the machine guns are silent. Hayes, nice shooting, kid. Reese is still shaking, but he nods. Scene 5. The climb continues. Fox Company regroups and pushes higher. The jungle thins as they near the ridge's peak. Now they're exposed, climbing over sharp volcanic rock under a gray sky. The wind howls like something wounded. Vasquez, I got a bad feeling about this. Matchstick, you always got a bad feeling. Vasquez, yeah, and I'm usually right. They reach a narrow ledge. On one side, a sheer cliff dropping into mist. On the other, the ridge wall, riddled with cave openings like empty eye sockets. Keller, stay sharp. They're watching. And he's right. From the darkness of the caves, unseen eyes track their every move. Act 3, The Enemy. Scene 6. Inside the Japanese tunnels. Deep within the mountain, the scene shifts. The tunnels are dark, damp, and suffocating. Candles flicker against wet stone walls. A group of Japanese soldiers huddle in the shadows, exhausted, wounded, starving. Some have bandages soaked through with blood. Others lean against the walls, too weak to stand. At the center sits Captain Sato Hiroshi, 42 years old, a career officer and true believer in Bushido, the way of the warrior. His uniform is torn. His left arm is wrapped in dirty cloth, blood seeping through. But his eyes are sharp. Unbroken. He sharpens his katana, a family blade passed down through generations. One of his men approaches and bows. Soldier, Captain, we have rations for 1 more day. Water for maybe 2. Many of the men can barely lift their rifles. Sato doesn't look up from his blade. Sato, then they will fight with bayonets. And if the bayonets break, they will fight with stones. And if there are no stones, they will fight with their hands. Soldier, sir, the Americans. Sato, the Americans are many. They have planes, artillery, endless supplies. But we have something they do not. Soldier, what is that, Captain? Sato finally looks up. Sato, we have already accepted death. That makes us the most dangerous men on this island. Another explosion shakes the cave. Dust falls from the ceiling. A younger soldier, barely 17, face pale with fever, speaks quietly. Young soldier, Captain, do you think we will see our families again? Sato's face softens for just a moment. Sato, in this life? No. But when we meet them in the next, they will be proud. We will tell them we never surrendered. We never dishonored the Emperor. We never dishonored ourselves. The men bow their heads. Sato, prepare your weapons. The Ghost Battalion is here. Scene 7. Memories of home. Sato walks deeper into the tunnel, alone. He reaches a small alcove where he's kept a wooden box. Inside, a photograph of his wife and daughter, both in traditional kimono, smiling in front of a cherry blossom tree. He touches the photo gently. Sato, forgive me, Yuki. Forgive me, little Akiko. I will not see you grow up. But perhaps, in another life. He closes the box and returns it to the shadows. When he stands, his face is stone again. Sato, today, I die well. Act 4, The Assault. Scene 8. The Mouth of the Dragon. By late afternoon, Fox Company reaches the largest cave entrance. It's massive, 15 feet high, carved by ancient volcanic flow, now fortified with sandbags and broken wood. Captain Keller raises his fist. The company stops. Keller, listen up. We don't know how many are in there. Could be 10. Could be 100. Either way, we do this smart. Stone, you take squad 1 and cover the left flank. Matchstick, set charges at the entrance, but don't blow it unless I say so. Hayes. Hayes, I know. Right flank. I got it. Keller, Reese, you stay with me. If things go sideways, you call for everything we've got. Reese, yes, sir. Keller steps forward, alone. Rain begins to fall, slow at first, then harder. He stands in the open, rifle lowered. Keller, Captain Sato. I know you're in there. This war is over. Japan is defeated. Don't make your men die for nothing. Let them live. Silence. Only the sound of rain hitting stone. Then, a voice from the darkness. Strong. Calm. Resolute. Sato, you speak with honor, American. And for that, I respect you. But we are already ghosts. This ridge is our grave. We will not leave it. Keller closes his eyes. Keller, then I'm sorry. Sato, do not be sorry. We chose this. Now come, and finish it. Keller turns to his men. Keller, fix bayonets. We're going in. The men attach blades to their rifles with metallic clicks. Stone, this is gonna be ugly. Keller, it always is. He looks at Reese. Keller, you stay close to me. You hear me, kid? Reese, I hear you, sir. Keller, then let's end this. Scene 9. Into the darkness. Fox Company enters the cave. Flashlights cut through the blackness like knives. Water drips from the ceiling. The air smells like gunpowder, blood, and earth. They move in formation, slow, careful, weapons raised. Matchstick, I don't like this. Too quiet. Hayes, stay frosty. Then, a scream from the darkness. Banzai. Japanese soldiers charge from the shadows, bayonets gleaming, faces twisted in rage and desperation. Keller, open fire. The cave erupts. Rat-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti. Muzzle flashes light the walls and strobing bursts. Bullets ricochet off stone. Men scream. Grenades roll across the ground. Boom. The explosion throws bodies into the air. Reese fires his rifle blindly, terror coursing through his veins. A Japanese soldier rushes toward him. Eyes wild. Bayonet raised. Time slows. Reese sees the man's face clearly. Thin. Starving. Dying. But still fighting. Crack. Reese pulls the trigger. The man falls. Reese collapses to his knees, shaking violently. Hayes grabs him and pulls him behind cover. Hayes, stay with me, kid. Stay with me. The battle rages. Stone fights hand-to-hand with a Japanese soldier twice his size. They grapple in the mud. Stone finally gets his knife free and... Thunk. The soldier goes limp. Stone rolls off, gasping for air. Scene 10. Keller vs. Sato. Through the chaos, Captain Keller and Captain Sato meet in the center of the cave. Rain pours through cracks in the ceiling, creating waterfalls of silver light. Both men are covered in mud and blood. Sato holds his katana. Keller holds his rifle. Sato, you fight well, American. Like a true warrior. Keller, this doesn't have to end with you dead. Sato, yes. It does. Sato raises his sword. Sato, end it. Keller raises his rifle and fires once. Crack. Sato staggers. Blood spreads across his chest. He falls to his knees, still gripping the sword. His eyes meet Keller's. No hatred. No anger. Only acceptance. Sato, tell them, we fought with honor. He collapses forward. The sword clatters against the stone. Act 5, The Aftermath. Scene 11. Silence. The gunfire stops. The cave goes silent. Fox Company stands in the darkness, chests heaving, ears ringing. Bodies lie scattered across the floor, American and Japanese alike. Smoke hangs in the air like ghosts. Keller kneels beside Sato's body. Gently, respectfully, he closes the man's eyes. Keller, rest now. You fought well. Hayes walks over, limping slightly. Hayes, it's done. The ridge is ours. Keller doesn't respond. He just stares at the body. Keller, how many did we lose? Hayes, 7 dead. 12 wounded. Keller's jaw tightens. Keller, get the wounded out first. Then we collect our dead. Every single one. Hayes, yes, sir. Scene 12. Reese's letter. Outside the cave, the rain has stopped. The sun breaks through the clouds, casting long golden rays across the ridge. Reese sits against a rock, staring at his hands. They are still shaking. Vasquez sits beside him, wrapping a bandage around his arm. Vasquez, you did good, kid. Reese, I killed someone. Vasquez, no. You survived. There's a difference. Reese pulls out the letter he wrote to his mother. He stares at it for a long time. Then he crumples it and throws it into the mud. Reese, I can't send that. I'm not the same person who wrote it. Vasquez, none of us are. Hayes walks over and wraps a blanket around Reese's shoulders. Hayes, war changes you. But you're alive. And that means something. Scene 13. The flag. The next morning, an American flag is raised at the peak of Devil's Ridge. It snaps in the wind, red, white, and blue against a clear sky. Fox Company stands below, battered but unbroken. Captain Keller calls roll. Keller, Sergeant Wallace. Stone, here, sir. Keller, Corporal Hayes. Hayes, here, sir. Keller, Private Thompson. Reese, here, sir. The names continue. But some don't answer. Their absence hangs in the air like a weight. When roll call ends, Keller speaks quietly. Keller, we didn't fight to conquer. We fought to finish a nightmare, so the world could wake up again. That is what we did here. Remember the ones who didn't make it. Honor them. Live for them. Reese steps forward. Reese, sir, are we heroes? Keller places a hand on his shoulder. Keller, no, son. We're soldiers. Heroes are the ones who didn't come home. Final scene. The end. The camera pulls back slowly. First, the company standing on the ridge. Then, the entire mountain. Then, the jungle stretching to the ocean. Then, the island itself, small and scarred. Narrator, 3 weeks later, Japan surrendered. The war was over. Fox Company returned home. Some adjusted. Some didn't. But they all carried Devil's Ridge with them for the rest of their lives. Because war doesn't end when the guns go silent. It ends when the last soldier finally finds peace. The screen fades to black. White text appears. Dedicated to all who fought in the Pacific Theater. To those who came home. And to those who never left.